Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Susan, and today we are going to be making this beautiful dress that you're seeing. It's a very simple boo dress. So if this sounds like what you like to learn, stay on the line while we get started. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much guys for your support. I really do appreciate. And if you're just seeing this channel for the first time, you just came across this channel, please do well to subscribe and turn on the notification button. Thank you. So now I've already gone ahead to fold this fabric into 4 places. That's what I've done already, so you can do same. I'm just taking my bust point, my waistline, and I'm also going to take my hip line. So those are going to be like a guideline to me. So when I was done, I'm going to take the full length of this dress, which is actually 39, and I'm going to add about 1.05 for seam allowance. And I'm just going to go ahead now to draw the straight lines across, so I'll know exactly where I'm going to put my measurement. So that is it. So right now I'm just going to place that aside, and we're going to go ahead now to take my neck width for both the front and the back. I did not use up to 3 inches. I used 2.05. That's 2 half and quarter. That's what I use. 2 half and quarter. That's what I use. So for both front and back, and for the front neck depth is going to be 3 inches, and the back is 1 inch. That is what I use. If you want the neck to be like what you saw on the thumbnail, that's what you're going to use. This is depending on the size. So if you're a bigger person, you can use 3 inches, because by the time I'm going to use half inch to turn it, the neck is going to bring back to about that, more than 3 inches, and I don't want it to be wide. I want it to be as it is on the thumbnail. So that's just me using my cuff ruler to cuff, and that's it for the front and the back. So from there I'm going to take my shoulder measurement divided by 2. From there I'll take the sleeve length. You can measure on your body, or you measure on the client how you're going to be. So my normal sleeve length for short is actually 8, but because this dress has the sleeve has a puff, by the time you take that puff, by the time it puffs up, it's going to reduce. So I'm going to add about 2 inches extra. So I added about 2 inches extra to my sleeve length. So that is it. And from there I'm just going to go ahead and determine how I want it to be. It's going to be puff sleeve, so it doesn't have to be that small, so that at least it will puff up a little bit. So I'm going to use 12 inches. I use 12 inches, that's plus allowance. I'm going to use half inch for allowance. So at that sleeve opening, I'm still going to use exact what we used from the neckline to the shoulder, so I can draw a straight line across. So this is going to serve as my sleeve opening there. So I just draw a straight line across there. So from there I'll come to my midpoint. I'll come to my bust point. Sorry guys, I don't know my English today as well. So that's going to be what I'm going to use as the opening. So from there I'm going to take my hip measurement. You can take the person's, or you can take your largest part of your body. If it's your hip, if it's your bust, whatever it is, divide it by 4, and you're going to use it at this particular place. So when I was done dividing my hip, what I have, I added it there, and I'm going to add 4 inches extra allowance. I added just 4 inches, so I'm going to use 1 inch for my seam allowance, and I'm going to 3 inches is going to be like the extra one for ease. There, it's a boo dress, so it has to be free, and you can do 5. So I just want to use 4. So at the down part, at the end part of this dress, you're going to put exactly what you have at the bust point, at the hem line, and that's what you're going to use for everything. That's what you're going to use at the hip, that's what you're going to use at the waist. So you're going to use it that way till you get to the end point. So this is me just dragging it down. So this is me just taking it down straight to the hem line. So at this point where like the armhole, you're going to come out by 1 inch so you can have that curve, a little bit curve. So from that point, just come up this way and just cuff it, and that's it guys, for both the front and the back. And we're just going to go ahead now to cut it. I'm going to go ahead now to cut the sleeve, and when we are done, we are going to go ahead now to cut the neck. So first of all, we are going to cut the front neck. We are going to cut the back neck depth first, then we are going to go ahead now to lift it up. Going to go ahead to lift it up, and we'll finish up with the front neckline. So at the back neckline, you know there is going to be something like a button, so you can be able to wear this dress at the back. So I'm going to come down by about 4 or 5 inches, so depending on how wide your neck and your head is that is passing through. So I just trim it out a little bit. So this is where we are going to put our loop, and we are going to put our button at the back of this dress. So that's basically that. So after that, I'm going to go ahead now to finish up with the front neck depth, which is 3 inches. So this is me just cutting off. So when I was done, I placed this way, the front and the back. You can see how I placed it, and I am going to bring out another fabric on fold. So I'm going to place the neckline on top of this new fabric that I brought. You can see. So I'm just going to place it on top, then I'm going to cut. This is me cutting the facing. This is me cutting the facing for this dress. You can use bias, but it will not be as neat. And you know, this fabric I'm using is actually a small Ankara, so I actually need it to be a little bit heavy. It's very light, so I just added somewhere. So I decided to use it to recreate this style. So that's it. So this is our facing. I'm going to add pepper stay to the facing, so it will give it more weight. So this is me just going down again to, I came down by about 4.5 inches, and I'm just going to connect it like this. When I get to the back side, this is the line that I drew, like the slit at the back. So from that slit, you're going to also determine how you want it to go down. So I just use my judgment, and it's 5 inches or 4 inches that you will use. So I'll just open it through. After I open it through, I'm now going to go ahead now to cut the whole facing. It's all of them is together, because this is like cut together sleeve. There is no joining at the shoulder, so we are now cutting it separately. We are cutting it together. So guys, please go ahead to like this video. Please give this video a thumbs up, please guys, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Thank you. So this is our facing. I've gone ahead to add paper stay, and I've ironed it. So I place them like this. This is how I'm going to sew it with 1/2 inch. So when I'm done sewing, see this small strip that I cut? This is what I'm going to use as the loop. So I'm going to use Amy gum while sewing it, because I'm not going to stop stitch. So this is me when I was done sewing. I'm going to open a small part here so I can attach my loop to it. So I've already attached it. I'm going to go over to the machine now, and I'm going to stitch that place back. So when I was done, this is what I have. You can see it's looking all neat. That's our loop, is already inside. So that is it. So I'm going to tuck this other one inside, because I'm going to iron it. Just go ahead now and notch everywhere, so when you iron it, it will lie down flat. So after that, I'm going to go ahead now to fold the facing like this, so it's going to be neat inside. Then I'll go to the machine, and I'll just stitch it round with about 1/2 inch. Look at it here. So when I was done, I'm just bringing out everything, because I'm going to put it inside, and I'm going to iron it with Amy gum. So this is it. You're just going to arrange it very well before you iron it. You're going to iron it. I arrange it very well. Sorry, you're going to arrange it very well before you iron it, because we are using Amy gum. So if it stick, it sticks. So this is me attaching Amy gum round. Then I'm going to iron from the front, not the back. When I was done ironing it, guys, this is what it looks like. You can see how beautiful it is already. This is the back, and this the other side is the front. So that's it. So right now, I'll go ahead now to join the sides of this dress by 1 inch that we added. 1 inch. I'm going to just go over to the machine and stitch it by 1 inch. Then when it comes to this other side, I'm going to stitch it by half an inch. When it comes to the sleeve, I'll stitch it by half an inch. Then when I was done stitching that round, I'm going to both the other side, I'm going just going to fold the sleeve this way, and I'm going to fold it again by the inches that I have as my elastic. If you have half inch, you stitch it. So that's what I stitch. I have half inch, so I use half inch. This is me just confirming my length, because I want to determine what I'm going to use as my drawstring. So what I'm going to do is going to I don't want to start from my I don't want to start at the armhole. So what I'm going to do, I'm starting at 2 inches above my hip. 2 inches above my hip. That's what I'm going to start. So I'm just going to go ahead now to notch that place open. So I'm going to fold it that way. Then I'm going to leave, I left about 1 inch down that I'm going to use in. So from that 1 inch, that is my folding allowance, I'm going to just notch. So that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm just going to go ahead now to fold it first, then fold it again. Remember, it's 1 inch that we added, so we are going to fold about half inch. So we'll first fold in, then fold again out. I'm going to show you on the machine how I'm going to do it, so it will be simple for you guys. So when I was done, this is me on the machine. So I just make sure that, because I want the upper part to also be neat, so I'm going to fold it a little bit inside. And when I'm done, I just went ahead to smooth it, and this is how we are going to go ahead now to stitch it. As you're stitching it on the machine, you're making sure that your fabric is not inside. So as you're stitching it, you're just making sure your fabric is not inside. Yes, you're just doing it this way, so that you not have excesses outside. So this is me just going ahead to do this thing, just like this, guys. There is no light, so I'm actually using this one, and I didn't iron this cloth before cutting too, this fabric actually, before cutting, because there is no light. So when I'm done, I'm going to iron everything. It's just simple dress though. So that's it. So this is me just folding it, and when I get to the down part, I also make sure I have some fabric inside, that I'll fold it inside. Remember, the upper part is going to be open, and the down part too is going to be open. So when I was done for that, you can see how it is. It's very neat. I'm going to turn it over to the other side, making sure that there are no fabric in under. Then I'm going to also repeat what I did on the other side over to this side. I'm going to repeat same. So this is me just arranging that upper part, so it's going to be neat. So when I was done, I'm just going to go ahead to stitch. So after stitching it, guys, we are going to go ahead and just make sure you're going to, if you have, you're going to iron it to make sure it's flat. Then at the other part that is remaining, you can just decide to weave it, or you decide to fold it separately. Decide to fold them separately. So when I get to this down part, I'll also fold it. So that is it. This is another simple way of doing it, but if you don't want it this way, or maybe you don't have enough fabric, you can actually use an external fabric. You can use something else and do it. So at the down part, I just folded my sewing allowance, so I'll make sure it doesn't touch that opening that we have for our rope to pass through. So I'll just make sure it doesn't touch it. So, and I'm going to go ahead now to fold this down part. So I'm done folding, and this is what we have. That's the remaining one over there. So I'm just going to go ahead. I can just decide to go ahead to fold it or weave it, whichever way, so it will be neat, especially if you're making it for a client. You will not leave it this way. So that's it. So I've gone ahead to cut a fabric this way, long strip this way, and I'm just going to fold it this way, then fold it again, and I'm just going to fold it this other way. Then I'll go to the machine and I'm going to stitch it round. I'm going to cut two of this. I'm going to cut two of this. So when I was done cutting, look at the length. So I just have like small extra. That's what I have. So when I was done, I'm going to pass it with my needle. I pass it from the down, from down. I'll now pass it to up. When you get to the opening, you're just going to drag it and you pass it through this other side. So after passing it through that side, you're going to bring it out. Repeat the same for both sides, and that is it, guys. So that's it. That's why I said it's simple. You can see it's not hard, it's not difficult at all. It's just very simple, just straightforward. So that's it. So we folded our sleeve, so I'm just going to open a particular place, then I'm going to attach my elastic. This elastic I actually use exact my round sleeve measurement, then I just minus 2 inches because I don't want it to be very tight. So that is what I have there, and this is what we have. So our dress is actually ready. So I'm going to wear it for you guys to see how the fitting. This is the back. I've gone ahead to attach the button at the back. So this is me wearing it, guys. You can choose to wear it this way, maybe to church if you don't want to feel too sexy. Just wear it that way. And then if you want to feel sexy and you want to reveal a little skin, you can just draw it. You can draw it as you want, like you can go up, and it's just a very beautiful simple dress, guys. Everybody should have it. So I think I like it. So that is it, guys. This way will come to the end of this tutorials. Please, guys, subscribe and like this video. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate. Bye.